We're live from a small room in Scotland. Let's see if it's working. It should be. But yes, I think that's working. Hello everybody. Hello and welcome to the Arcane Forge. My name is Josh, and today, with it being February, or February, as I want to say, we are going to be coming up with some magic items that are themed around the Fae. Maybe not necessarily like Fae fighting items or Fae destroying items or whatever, but maybe items that you might find in the Feywild. Like what kind of things exist in that plane of reality that you might want to take home with you, that you might find useful. And I'm going to need your help for that. I'm going to need your suggestions for how we're going to come up with some of these items, what they might be, what they might look like, and what they might do. And my wonderful, beautiful wife is sitting just across from me, and she's going to be reading out some of your suggestions. There is a tiny bit of a delay. There's like a minute or 30 seconds or something along those lines. There's a bit of a delay between what you type and what we see and what everyone will then read out. So it could be a tiny bit of time, but I would love to hear your ideas because there are so many millions of things. I want to know what you think would be most useful to take back from the Feywilds, and perhaps what you would have to pay or what you'd have to do for this item to work, because the Fae are famously tricky and difficult to deal with. So would a flaming sword or whatever it is that you get from the Feywilds, would you have to tell it a joke every time you wanted to activate it or something like that? Would you have to, you can cast fireball out of this wand, but only if you're standing on your head? You know, what kind of things, what kind of requirements and conditions would a tricky magic item that belongs in the Feywilds that you're taking with you, that we're going to be creating, what could that possibly do? So, yeah, I want to hear your suggestions and see what we can come up with. What have we got so far?
No suggestions so far, just everyone saying hello.
Hello to everybody.
Nancy, Reese, Yorick, Steve.
Nice to see you all, guys. Ladies, gentlemen, and everything else in between.
I think that's everyone that's commented
lovely.
So far.
Wonderful stuff. Well, do you have an idea of something that you'd like to see? Because, I mean, do you want to make a weapon or a suit of armor or like a trinket or a potion or something? What kind of thing suits you?
What Kit had suggested to fox gloves.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
So yeah, let's do fox gloves. And there was also someone suggested on another stream sun flowers, and them being in some way able to combat vampires. So anti-vamp. Seems like a really cool floral theme.
So Reese is saying they're stumped, and I was a bit stumped as well. What kind of... So how would you make things fade? What makes things
okay,
fade
so things that seem fade to me are in some way connected to aesthetics of the natural world. So they might be, might have like the carapace of a beetle. They might be insectoid in some capacity, or floral, or in some way sort of like nature-based, but also kind of beautiful and elegant, and have that kind of theme of elven or eladrin kind of like looks to them. I would say that they would be circumstantially incredibly useful things, but maybe not something that is going to be useful all the time. It's not like a suit of plate mail armor. These are things that the Fae create for very specific circumstances, and they might be, like I say, a little bit tricky, a little bit of a joke, a little bit of a, well, maybe not a joke, but maybe have something of a riddle about them. So something that's useful only when certain conditions are met, like you can become invulnerable at midnight exactly, that kind of thing. Think of Cinderella and like her whole ball gown and everything like that, sort of
having a
catch that like it runs out at midnight, that kind of thing. So something with a very steep condition that could be very, very useful.
Okay, so we have some suggestions.
Oh, wonderful.
York says, what about an Eye of Oberon?
Ooh, interesting. Interesting, I like that.
Nancy's saying, how about a leaf that you can wear that shows the secret way through the woods?
Ooh.
Which sounds cool, especially if it showed you the way back out of the Feywilds, because I know that's something from editing your video. I know that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna say for shorthand, leaf of guidance there, just to kind of.
Steve saying, how about some items linked to the seasons, like a cape for winter, stave for spring, that sort of thing.
Excellent.
Maybe it's the same item and it transforms based on what season it is.
Seasonally transforming.
Talon says something to help you see the Fae. Maybe a gem eye.
Help. So gem eye. Let's say magic eye. Eye to see the Fae. Wonderful.
ES Laval's here.
Oh, hi ES Laval. Hi, how you doing?
They're saying that the background is very pretty.
Oh, thank you very much. Yvonne worked extremely hard on it, and I think I threw a lot of very conflicting and confusing suggestions at what I would like for my graphics to be, and I think Yvonne ran with that very, very well and managed to transform all of my very confusing ideas into something that works really nicely. So I'm very, very happy with that.
Vilt is here.
Oh, hey Vilt. Hi, how are you doing? Vilt is a wonderful, wonderful artist over on Twitch, and I would highly recommend checking out Vilt's channel. Vilt, if you have a link to your work, feel free to post it in the comments if you can. I'm not sure if links are allowed on YouTube, but if not, post it on the Discord, and I would love to direct people to your channel. Vilt is a very, very talented artist who's a huge fan of The Expanse, which we also really enjoy. So very, very Expanse themed at the moment. But yeah.
Nancy's also saying a spider's web cloak.
Ooh, spider's web cloak. Nice one, Nancy. That's a really good call. Spider web cloak.
Sam says, if we're talking specific conditions, what about answering 5 riddles correctly in a row allows you to tell if someone is being deceitful for the rest of the day?
Ooh, riddle themed truth detector. Sounds like a really good call. Should we get 10 suggestions and then like roll and I'll just like, we'll see how many we can get done, whether it's like 1 or 3 or whatever it ends up being. Depends how complicated these things end up being. But let's get 2 more and then we can roll a d10 and find out what we're making. Do you have anything that you like off the top of your head that you'd like to add to the list?
I'm just thinking of something that like could maybe help you blend into your surroundings. So like if you were, I guess that's maybe going down the cloak way again, but like takes on the elements of the nature around you.
Yeah, okay. So cloak of natural.
Yeah.
Invisibility maybe, like
camouflage, natural sort of.
Yeah, let's say camo, natural camo. And then we'll know what it means. Let's go for that for sure.
Vilt says direwolf mask that makes you look like a wolf until you speak. That's pretty
I like this. Yeah, you had me at direwolf mask.
That would be really fun to draw.
Yeah. Direwolf mask. I also love the idea of, I love masks in particular. I think I've been obsessed with them since playing like old Zelda games and stuff, but the idea of masks having power and that being transferred to you, and the mask TV and like mask film and everything like that. But the idea of like a mask that actually has power and maybe like a mask that can genuinely bite like a direwolf would be quite cool. But yeah, would you like to roll a d10 or should I grab a d10?
I'll find one.
Yeah, okay. Let's find out what we're making.
When I say that, I'm just like, Google.
ES Level, I've just seen in the comments like Yvonne invents Cloak of Elven Kind. There is a very famous. There's a very famous magic item. No. So it's not 100% that. Like what you're talking about is like a very advanced Cloak of Elven Kind. but it's helps you to remain hidden in nature a little bit more easily, rather than like literally taking on natural stuff. Unless you, I suppose, choose to describe it that way in your D&D games. You never know.
Alright, I have just rolled 10.
A 10. Oh, that is the direwolf mask. Okay, let's go for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
let's start off with the direwolf mask. Let's do Command G. Direwolf mask. Right, so I'm finding it in my head. I'm already picturing those old Japanese kitsune masks. Have a very distinctive look to them. I'm kind of picturing that kind of thing. So let's go for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just googled that to see if I was thinking of the right thing, and yeah, that's really cool.
I've got that kind of thing in my head. Vil, I know that your D&D character wears a mask. What kind of species are they, out of interest? Because I'm going to need a base for this mask anyway. And I can't remember. Oh, were they a half elf or something like that? Either way, it fits the Fey vibe very well. Let's go for. Let me just get a reference image of a kitsune mask. Kitsune mask. How much anime do I need to wade through before I find a real result? Oh no, they're all here. Okay, that's good. Yes, we're all good. But yeah.
Kit's joined us.
Oh, hello Kit. Hi, how you doing? Kit is another phenomenal artist. A lot of you on the Discord should know Kit. But if you don't, he's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful artist, also a streamer. And I would highly recommend checking out Kit's work.
Sam says, I like the idea of the direwolf mask functioning like wild shape, but you can't control when you come out of it.
Ooh.
Or someone else needs to remove it, kind of a fake curse.
That's a really cool idea. Having limited control over it seems like a really great idea.
And Vilt says the mask that their character wears is a sparrow mask with ram horns.
Ooh.
And she's a half elf.
Oh, fair dues.
Really cool.
That is very cool. I like the sound of this.
I can imagine it's quite elaborate then if they're half elf.
Oh yeah. You know I'm going to go elaborate with any kind of elf anything. I love an elf.
We need to get a game going soon.
We do.
I'm missing having character concepts.
yeah, for sure. I need to get a tiny bit ahead on videos, and then I need to do some writing. But yeah, maybe getting a game where we're players is the next step, so that we can actually get into it sooner rather than later. I was supposed to do some D&D writing in January, I think it was. I was like, I'm specifically going to take off time just for this, but no, I ended up finding more work to do. Don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I always end up finding additional stuff to do. If I create a vacuum of like time for myself, it always fills up really quickly, no matter what. Right, so let's go. That seems like a decent enough head to start off with. Let's go for and yeah, I want to hear your ideas for what this mask can do, out of interest. I want to hear. Heard some cool ideas so far about it having a mind of its own. I think I suggested a kind of bite attack type deal, but does it let you wild shape into a wolf, or does it just give you features of a wolf? Do you get sort of lupine strength or something like that? What's the deal? What are we?
Maybe the senses, the hearing.
Oh yeah.
The smell.
Oh, maybe you get like the most deadly thing in D&D ever is pack tactics, which only like dog-like animals get, which is like if one of their allies is attacking someone, because they're part of the pack, they get every other member of their group gets advantage to attack that target. So if one of your allies is attacking someone, you get advantage to attack. So maybe pack tactics in general is just a good thing to add on to this. Am I going quite round or quite angular with this mask, do you reckon? Because I can definitely go...
I think it'd be pretty fun to do something kind of round and...
Yeah, a bit more elvish maybe in that way. A bit more fey.
Less obvious as well. I feel like a wolf, you can instinctively want to go sharp and strong.
That's true.
So maybe something rounder could be
interesting. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Let's do that.
It just makes you believe you're a wolf. It's
really
awkward for everyone watching.
In all ways except the physical, I am a wolf. Yes. That's such a shame. Let's see.
Talon says it should let you speak Winter Wolf. Love giving players access to weird languages. That's
a cool idea.
Yeah.
I love that. Love that for you. Let's see. I feel like I want to see the mouth of this person.
Right.
You know, I think that seems like a good call in general. And I think having a kind of... Maybe it has like a mane out the back or something, like an actual wolf pelt that turns into kind of like a cloak. What do you think? Or no?
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
A bit of a wolf mullet.
Yeah, wolf mullet, absolutely.
Sam says wolves also have an ability in their attacks that on a failed strength save, the target on a failed strength save, the target gets knocked prone.
Ooh, that sounds really good. That could be very, very useful.
How about advantage on athletics checks relating to running and jumping, since wolves are apex predators that rely on ambushing and chasing their prey, says Steve?
That sounds like a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's cool. And yes, Laval says, I love just having weird languages in my world.
Yes.
I'd stick with the advantage on smell, which I believe is canonical wolf stats.
Yes. Always want to stick with those canonical wolf stats. I'm sorry, there's something about that phrase that's really amused me.
Canonical wolf stats.
Yeah, I feel like that sounds like the name of a song from a band I would have listened to in my teenage years. You know what I mean? Welcome, this is Papa Roach with canonical wolf stats. Oh dear, I amuse myself. I'm sorry. I got advertised not long ago. I'm talking like a couple of weeks ago. Papa Roach are doing music still. Or either they've revived or they have always been doing music this whole time, and it's like, damn, their style has not changed much, and like, wow. That is not teenage angsty Josh is a very different person. Dear oh dear.
Reese says the mask reminds me of a character from Power Rangers Wild Force, where that character turns into a wolf-like creature and lost their humanity. So maybe that.
Interesting. That's a cool idea.
And people are enjoying the wolf mullet. So.
Yes, wolf mullet for the win. We can all agree that mullets are obviously brilliant.
Steve says that's now the name of my new death metal band. I'm on bass.
Welcome to Canonical Wolf Stats.
Oh, Bram's joined us.
Hi Bram, how you doing?
Salutations, Lord Forge.
Oh, goodness. Salutations. I'd take my hat off if I had one. Shall we go? Let's go for a nice deep colour for the skin of this person who's actually technically not relevant to the drawing, but I like having a person there. By the way, if you can hear snoring throughout this, Yvonne has not fallen asleep, I hope. And you should just be hearing little Myrtle, the French bulldog, snoring away gently. Aldrin always seems to say that it sounds like a purr, or he hopes that it's like a purr. But the other day she snored so loudly into my ear that I couldn't sleep. It was like vibrating my whole skull. So she does like to get right up in there as well, really, really close to your face when she's snoring. She has very little in the way of understanding of personal space, which is very cute. Like you want a cuddle from your dog, but she is a loud ass snorer. And I love her dearly, but I do also miss, I say miss as if I ever did, but I miss those times when I actually remember what rest was. But she should be just making some little grumbling noises underneath the table, so if the microphone picks those up, I am sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, we thought the Staffy snoring was bad enough, but then we got a French bulldog.
Yeah.
I don't know what we expected, but
yeah,
for
I wasn't
a small
ready.
dog, she makes a lot of noise.
I was not ready. I thought Staffy had prepared me for that, but goodness me, no. I'm gonna go for a nice kind of subtle grey for the mask, I think, and like add lots of details and layers in. So don't worry. I know grey is not my usual MO. I know when you're looking at an Arcane Forge artwork, you're expecting mind-alteringly bright colours, and that is what I like. But
Cat's here.
oh, hi, hello, hi, Cat. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful time. I was talking to someone today about how much I'm missing your streams while you are away. And yes, I hope you're having a wonderful time, but please do return to Scotland soon because I'm missing your wonderful streams. Please check out Art of Caro over on Twitch as well. Is a wonderful, wonderful artist.
So how are you envisioning... yeah, Vilts is a purplish grey, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a bit of lavender on the go.
Yeah. How are you envisioning this attaching? Is it just going over the head with the mullet at the back, or is there some sort of fastening?
Okay, so in my head, because this is the Fae,
decorative.
I think rather than it actually attaching in a normal way, I think you place it on.
Oh, bye, Nancy.
Oh, see you later, Nancy. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I think because this is a Fae thing, and Fae things are often cursed, right? I feel like once you put this on, it's difficult for it to come off. In a sort of Goosebumps-esque kind of way.
I was just thinking of the Goosebumps story, yeah.
Yeah,
the
so...
the Haunted Mask, I think it might have been called.
So it has some great advantages, you know, you get all these really cool combat things and so on, but, like, maybe it's not that easy to take off. Maybe it's something that you now have to deal with trying to remove.
Maybe the longer you wear it, the harder it is to remove.
Ooh, yeah. Or maybe like the longer you wear it, the more powers it unlocks, and the harder it is to remove.
Oh. B.S. Laval says, I love the idea that you put this thing on and get really good at tracking by smell, like the Leers from Monster Blood Tattoo. Anyone else read that as a kid?
I have no idea what that is.
Not heard of that one.
That definitely sounds like something I would have enjoyed reading as a kid, though.
Monster Blood Tattoo.
Yeah. Has the word tattoo in it, has monsters, has blood. I'm there.
It's like
sold.
Strong text there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I was thinking about, Valerie? Did you read the Animorphs?
Oh, the Animorphs books. Yes, I loved those. I absolutely. The guy who got like stuck in his eagle, Tobias. That's what it was.
Got stuck as a hawk or something.
Yeah, or a peregrine falcon or something. I don't know. It was cool either way. I was like, yes, take me to there. I want to be that.
Ollie and Leo are here.
Hello, Ollie and Leo. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Leo, I thought you were supposed to be in bed. I hope you're not staying up just on my account, but I'm glad you're here. And Ollie, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate that. I hope you guys have a wonderful night so far. How have your D&D games been going? Are they as wild as I hope they are? Front tuft. Let's go for a nice... We're going for an actual... Is this an actual wolf pelt that the mullet is, or is it something else? What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's a logical answer, but as a vegan, maybe you don't want that to be. Maybe you can think of an alternative.
That's a good call, because I was also desperate to put pink hair on this, so I think pink hair it is. Also, Feywilds. It could be a wolf. So you know, doesn't necessarily have to make sense.
Ollie says the games have been really fun.
Oh yeah.
York's asking, are dinosaurs a common thing in your world?
Yeah, actually, I do have a lot of prehistoric creatures in my campaign worlds, especially in the sort of like, there's a continent that I have, that kind of like desert continent, I guess, like desert and jungle, humid and hot kind of jungle environment and desert environment that I have a lot of prehistoric creatures in. I really like including using the stats for saber-toothed tigers and instead using them as like gorgonopsids. So you have this kind of like reptilian meets feline kind of silhouette. I just really like the way they look. So yes, there are lots of dinosaurs. I definitely include them. I wonder if you do as well. Let's see. What was I going to say? I was going to say a thing, and now that has gone from my brain. I was going to say, oh yeah, I heard something interesting the other day. I think it was on like Dimension 20 or something along those lines. That dinosaurs are the first thing that nerds get into, and I want to know how true that is for you. That like you become a dinosaur nerd when you're a kid. And that's like your gateway into nerddom, and I think that's largely got to be pretty true, because I think everyone I know at least went through a dinosaur phase, if not is still into dinosaurs in a big way. And like people who say that a T-Rex is their favorite dinosaur are like, yeah, that's fine. That's like normal level nerd. But if you're coming out with like a Compsognathus or something like that as like your favorite dinosaur or whatever it is, you know, something really obscure and weird, then you know that person's going to grow up to be a fully grown nerd when they're older. And I have time for it, but I want to hear your thoughts on whether or not you think dinosaurs are a gateway into being a nerd, or if they are an essential to becoming a nerd, or if you are a nerd now but you totally bypassed the dinosaur phase. I really want to hear from you, because what's that like?
Yeah, there's some strong agreement
yeah
here.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm in good company.
Yeah, your hot take is on point there.
Okay.
Bill's suggesting that the more you wear this, the more it mixes with your hair, like sort of braids into it.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
It makes me think, have you heard of witches' braids before?
Yes, yeah, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to describe it for people?
I think it's just when the wind catches horse's hair and sort of twists it and it ends up looking like a braid. I think that's called a witch's.
Yeah, definitely.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Is there another name for it that you guys are aware of?
Ollie's filling us in about
Leo's
game.
What's been going
They
on?
were very close to be taken out. Leo had been turned to stone.
Oh no!
Cyberkill, who's the other kid player,
Excellent.
Which is a great name,
Yeah.
managed to blast a bit of it off, and it landed in Leo's mouth.
Ugh.
He came to life with a natural 20, cut the basilisk's head clean off.
Excellent. Well
A bit
done.
more excitement from the kids. That's cool.
Very, very cool. Absolutely the appropriate reaction.
Diego's joined us as well.
Nice to meet you. I don't recognise your name, but if we have spoken before, I'm sorry for missing that, but lovely to talk to you.
Reed's joined us as well, who also
Reed.
remembers the monster blood tattoo.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, what is this? What wonderfully nerdy thing have I missed out on?
I'm probably going to kill this pronunciation, but Bill says, I love the Dinopius.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm probably killing
No, you're okay. Let me have a look.
Steve says, big bony crash hat boys. Oh, Pachycephalosaurus.
Oh, Pachycephalosaurus. Yeah, yeah.
I was close.
Yeah, that was really good.
I
That was
didn't
really.
go through the dinosaur phase, so I don't know how to say any of
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Uh,
You skipped it. That's pretty weird, actually. That's unusual.
Yeah. I only became a nerd later on in life. Nerd culture didn't really exist.
You were always nerd adjacent, I think, by the sounds of it. You were always in danger of nerd.
Yeah,
you were high risk.
If I'd known any other nerds, if I'd known where to find the channels for nerd.
Yeah, I think that is definitely much more available now. Welcome to the Arcane Forge.
Baryonyx.
Baryonyx, absolutely amazing. Yeah, very, very cool. I was a big Triceratops fan when I was younger, but I feel like that's quite a vanilla dinosaur to love. So I feel like the pressure's on to come up with like a much cooler, more obscure.
The Land Before Time.
Oh yeah, that counts. That counts. You were a dinosaur nerd. Yeah.
Bill says dinosaur phase is a strong one.
Yes, absolutely.
Discovered a few years ago that there are more birds than lizards. I was like, dinosaurs with feathers?
Yes, yeah. I love that. That's actually one of my big issues right now. Okay, and this is a weird hill to die on, but it is important to me. I am desperately seeking miniatures, D&D miniatures of dinosaurs, right? And I have a 3D printer. I love my 3D printer to death. It is absolutely magical. But I can't find many dinosaur miniatures that actually have feathers that I can print on there. And I will not be having historically inaccurate dinosaurs in my D&D campaign. Like, there are creatures flying around, like there are dragons breathing fire, there are alien mutants that can eat your brain, there are vampires, but that is my hill that I will die. My dinosaurs will be as close to accurate as I can possibly get them, goddammit. Forgive me for that little tirade. I need to have a little drink to cool down.
Reese says that dinosaurs are the gateway to nerds and furries.
Yeah, I can picture that too. Do we have any of the furry community in our chat tonight? I'd be curious to know. Although obviously, if you don't feel comfortable expressing that, that is absolutely valid and fine, and you do not need to. No pressure.
Steve says the Triceratops is a classic. Good
Triceratops.
Call.
Triceratops is a good call.
Protoceratops, if you're feeling hipster.
Yes, well, I mean, can you see the beard? Of course, I'm feeling hipster. But yes,
Francis, don't you mean prehistorically accurate?
Oh, I see what you did there. Yes. Proper. You can have an inspiration point for that. if I was your DM, I'd be giving you an inspiration point for that. Bravo.
I think my gateway for nerdsness was more Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon than dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's fair. I suppose there is maybe like a time frame gap here, because I'm assuming that a lot of the audience, like myself, grew up in the 90s, but maybe not. Maybe there's a lot of early 2000s and beyond. Maybe even not yet early 2000s. I don't know. There could be all sorts of wonderful nerds in our community right now.
Where are we? I like the neon feather dinosaur aesthetic.
Ooh, very nice.
Ollie says you could take the STLs and add feathers to the models in Blender or something.
That does sound good, but also sounds like a little bit of effort, and I'm a lazy person.
They say that I use Leo's dinosaur toys as minis. They're normally cheaper and you can get really nice models, but they're a bit big though.
That's fair. No one's going to complain about having a dinosaur that's too big, really.
Leo's favourite dino is T-Rex, of course.
Of course, yes. Good on you, Leo. You get started in the dinosaur hobby, the dinosaur fandom, and I fully support that. Love that for you.
What were you saying about the early 2000s?
That I think I don't know like the age demographic of who we actually reach on this channel,
right.
But I'm assuming I tend to assume that everyone like myself grew up in the 90s, but
okay, right. So you're wrong.
Oh yeah.
Reese is saying early 2000s.
Oh my goodness.
Reed was born in the year 2000.
Oh! We've got some younglings.
That crazy to me. I feel like my memories really started forming. Like stronger memories in 2000. Like the millennium itself is very clear in my mind. And then from then onwards is like much sharper.
That's fair. I think that's like the music that I like actually enjoyed was definitely around that kind of time, really.
98 is Sam. Steve says I'm a bit older than the average person here. I think my gateway into confirmed nerdom was the fighting fantasy books, if anyone remembers those. And yes, Laval says babies, absolute infants. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we're surrounded by youths. There's halflings in our community, obviously.
York was only 2001 as well.
Oh my goodness,
We're always the same age as me, pretty much. 86.
There you go. Yeah, alright. We're not fully alone.
Okay, so your audience is much younger than...
Yeah, I thought everyone was in our same age bracket. Not that changes anything about how wonderful you all are, but it has made me realise I'm old. So thank you for being here. I thought everyone like me was staying up past their bedtime to get in on this. But you're all youths.
Yeah, there's that horrifying meme where it's like someone trying to hand over their driver's license for ID and the person's like, it's okay, I can see the one. And you're like,
yeah. Yes, I can see that you were born in the 1900s. Like,
Sam says, I'm sorry Josh, it appears your channel now qualifies for YouTube Kids. No,
it's okay.
We can't have that.
No, it's okay.
Too prone to swearing for that.
Well, you'd best not be. I like this channel being appropriate for children, but also not excluding anyone, ideally. But yeah, I have to keep you in a cupboard where you can't swear. My goodness. Not sure I'm liking any of those patterns I've just done. Right, off you go. I was getting too overexcited too quickly there, I think. Too much dinosaur chat, yes. I was reliving the whole 90s right there. I say that, I was born in 1990, so I don't,
I've had this argument with my cousin before. So I was 87. I would say I'm a child of the 90s because I remember the 90s.
I see.
I grew up like in that decade.
Yes.
Where she's the same as you, born in 1990, but her memories didn't start till the mid-90s, really. So
I think you're a child of the 90s if you were born in the 90s. Like that's,
Yeah, but I was born at the very end of the 80s. I don't remember the 80s. The 80s weren't an influence on my childhood. Because I was 2.5 when it ended.
So you're telling me that you never watched Ghostbusters then?
I was on the TV in the 90s. Have you seen Ghostbusters?
I've seen Ghostbusters.
That argument, that dog don't know. Don't worry about it. Steve says I'm very, very old compared to all.
Don't you worry, Steve. You're in good company. You're in good company. It's quite alright. You're quite alright.
York says, although as a 2000 kids, 2000s kids, I'm weirdly obsessed with cartoon franchises long before my decade.
You are indeed, actually. We were having a really good discussion yesterday. Yorick's one of my patrons who I have video chats with. And we were talking about like He-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all this kind of stuff because he's got like a drawing project on the go. But more important than all of that was how much we talked about Street Sharks. Did you ever watch Street Sharks when you were growing up? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That, right, I don't know if you're prepared for this. That is a lot weirder than I even remembered. Because I have in my head that was like quite... I mean, it was cool for the 90s, right? But it's way weirder than I remember. It's like, don't think that would get made today kind of weird.
Really?
It was, like there was a guy who like gave himself piranha formula. He was like Dr. Piranha or something. Paranoid, like paranoid. All it did, he's just like a normal dude, but his nose goes away and he gets spiky teeth, and that's it. And there's like an angry clam as well that's just like a really buff, like hench AF guy, and he's just got a clam for a body and stuff like that. Like this, it's it was a drying out well in those days. I'm guessing the cartoon world.
I have that in my head in the same sort of space that Biker Mice from Mars.
I'm with you. We also talked about Biker Mice from Mars because that was essential viewing growing up. I was a big Vinny fanboy.
Reed is asking if we've got any functions for this mask. So there was a few ideas.
Yes. It's like, guys, get back on track. We were talking about D&D masks, not Biker Mice from Mars, please. I think is what that was very politely asking.
This is a good point. Yeah, kids shows solve the problem of not killing people by subjecting them to fates worse than death.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
A better gore is nothing. Many
Yes.
cartoon villains get transformed into abominations.
They do indeed.
So true. They have no mouth, but they must scream.
Oh my god, yeah, that is an absolutely.
SWAT Cats was a weirdly dark kids show in that bizarre way you're describing.
SWAT Cats?
SWAT Cats with a K.
I feel like I've genuinely missed out on something here.
Half man, half clown, all nightmare, says Kit.
Oh my god. Yes.
What?
I don't know.
SWAT Cats.
I feel like we're about to learn some stuff about humanity.
Oh. No, I don't recognise that at all.
I'm gonna have to. Hey, sorry, don't turn your screen. I'll
break my screen if you turn it.
Yeah, I'll have a little look there. My goodness.
Or they get banished into the shadow realm.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you've got to be kind of careful what you do in kids shows. But yeah, you're right, it is kind of quite messed up.
Like, all of Batman's villains have a terrible, terrible time, and are all horribly disfigured and damaged and stuff like that as a result, just direct result of meeting Batman. Like, no two ways about it.
Yeah. I mean, I was quite obsessed with the Jack Nicholson Joker going into that vat of acid and coming out all different colours when it was like,
yeah, that is messed
are
up.
that dark and edgy versions of Looney Tunes. I don't remember that.
No. God, what was that?
Yeah, you need to fill us in on that.
Yeah, definitely. Edgy Looney Tunes. Can't even picture that.
Oh, Lunatics Unleashed, maybe?
Lunatics Unleashed, wow.
Oh my god, it looks terrible.
Good grief. Is it like live action, or is it like what we're dealing with? Just no, yeah. You know what? I will Google this, so you don't have to turn your screen.
Lunatics Unleashed.
Lunatics Unleashed.
Like the Looney Tunes meets Batman aesthetic.
Oh god. Oh yeah. Okay, they're all in like pleather outfits. What's going on there?
Oh yeah, you're so Lunatics Unleashed.
Oh crumbs. That's a shame. That's a real shame. A whole boardroom full of people decided that was a good idea.
Yes, Laval was liking the patterns. I think they're looking really good as well.
Thank you very much.
Are you seeing this as like what are you seeing the mask being made of? Because it's looking a bit metallic with the colours you've chosen.
That's true. I'm picturing a wood kind of mask, but painted. And I'm going to try and come up with some like kind of elven looking markings to put on here. Because it's definitely like a magical mask, I think. Like this is something that has been crafted to give you abilities in the neighborhood of a wolf, you know? Over a little bit there.
I swear Martha only snores when Aldrin is in the chat, because Aldrin's not here tonight. And look how quiet she's been.
She's been nice and quiet. It's a little bit suspicious.
Oh, Reed's asking, was the wood grown into that shape or was it carved?
Oh, good question. Good question. Maybe grown. If we're talking Feywilds, it could easily have grown, couldn't it?
So I've been editing your video.
Yeah.
Give anything away
Yeah.
about the Feywilds, but you've been talking about how things that are thoughts and in this world can
are
manifest
manifested.
themselves.
Yeah.
So is there anything maybe to do with the function of this that could be sort of manifested from like maybe an anxiety that someone has in the real world?
Yeah, maybe it's like if it's like tracking based, maybe it's like a fear of losing someone or something. This can be manifested in that capacity perhaps.
Or someone that feels like prey in this world.
Yeah.
Dreams up something that they could put on to become the predator.
Yeah, that's true. Turning the tables kind of mask.
Reese says, I hate when people say that animation is for kids when it depends on the targeted audience.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I only need to look at Studio Ghibli to know that there are even things that cross those generational boundaries. You know, it can be for both or either or anything. Anything that you find value in, regardless of who it was intended for, you still find value in, you know? It's irrelevant. As long as you're enjoying yourself, that's the important thing.
Maybe something to do with the wild hunt.
Oh, yes. That's a good call.
Bram says, it's curiosity based. Only once you wear it can you know what the fox says.
Oh my goodness.
It's Faye, the wood definitely grow like that. Says
yes, absolutely. Oh, Myrtle. Just having a little grump and a grumble over there.
I don't know what age like dogs tick over from that kind of like still got puppy energy to like old dog.
Yeah.
Kind of mode. Like she's only 4, but she's definitely like in the last sort of 6 months become like that kind of sofa dog rather than the sort of zooming around, destroying things in a dog. Oh, this is cool. Styrac says, how about turning howling at the moon into an ability for long distance communication?
Ooh.
It's iconic, but not as on the nose as smelling and tracking.
Very cool idea. I like that a lot. Yes.
Oh, this is cool. So Reed says maybe it's got a branch or stem sticking out, so where you can see it snapped off a tree.
That's a nice idea. I can maybe add something like that back in.
What if the mask's eye holes can create a passive illusion to make the wearer's eyes look like a wolf's?
Ooh, that's a nice idea.
So like a wolf wearing a wolf mask.
That's cool. That's a nice idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit creepy that you've just left the eyes out at the moment.
Don't worry, I will draw the face in a second for sure. Just trying to categorize all my layers into little groups so they're easier for me to find. Which you probably can't see now I think about it, so this is all just a lot of typing noises. Right now I am working on the mullet group, for example. Except it didn't want to type an M there. Mullet, there we go. Those a tiny bit because they're a little bit bright, and do the same with the front tuft. There you go, lovely. Get a few little bits of shade going on, and then I'll start working on this face. So it's tiny bit less creepy.
Talking of messed up cartoon character fates, York says in the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, Baxter Stockman gradually got his body parts removed for his repeated failures until he was a brain and an eye and a glass tube.
Oh my god.
Blank. They got away with it. I don't know. That is very messed
up. That is screwed up, man. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who would have thought it? Actually, I think the original like manga or something like that was supposed to be really dark. I think that's like quite a theme because I know Yu-Gi-Oh was supposed to be incredibly dark, and then they turned into like a quite light-hearted, to some extent, cartoon show. Maybe that's just a thing.
Leo's off to bed, so he's saying
thank you so much for being here, Leo. It's been lovely to have you here.
Right, Steve says, 1, I like the moon reference. How about if the wearer can see the moon, they can transmit their exact location to someone? Let's go. 2, to riff on the pack ideas, plus the practice of people being apart and looking at the same moon when they miss each other, as well as this being an item that improves tracking.
Yeah, sounds lovely. I like this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cute idea. Let's see what have we got in the way of.
Bram says, isn't the Pokemon manga also really dark?
I would assume so. You're capturing live animals in spheres and forcing them to fight each other to the death.
I feel like also a creature that can only say its own name is like a kind of creature.
Yeah, definitely. That is a what was it? The I have no mouth, but I must scream kind of story as well.
Yu-Gi-Oh had one guy that was banished from the Shadow Realm in the cartoon. Had his ankles sliced through by buzzsaws in the original. He bled out and died. Wow.
Goodness me. Yeah, no thank you.
Oh, is that Wolf Creek where they slash their ankles so they can't run away?
That seems like a Wolf Creek kind of thing.
Yeah, I reckon. What is that bit? But kind
Oh, the hamstring kind of bit.
of. Yeah,
Is
what's
that?
that?
Bit below your ankle. I mean,
Below your ankle, above your heel, that kind of indent.
I don't know what you call that. Is it not a hamstring?
No, the hamstring's above.
I don't know. That.
Oh, who paid attention in biology?
Yeah.
Nice.
Someone will know.
Oh, Steve continues. 3, you could use this as a scouting item,
Ooh.
as could the bad guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's girl.
Yeah, definitely. I like the sound of that. I definitely think like tracking, wolfy stuff in general, this all needs to be a huge part of what this item can do.
York says, it reminds me of how much more dark fairy tales were until Disney came along. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Grimm's fairy tales were definitely grim.
Yep.
Right, I think we can go with that there, and then I'll maybe add a nice little extra bit of eyelash there. Get you, girl. Yep, that looks nice to me.
So this can send messages to anyone looking at the same full moon that you're looking at by bouncing your message off the moon or something.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, talking of moons, I went to see Moonfall last night.
Oh.
Has anyone else seen it?
How was it?
It's like every 10 minutes of the film were like the writers were told to like amp it up.
Yeah.
Like add more. I don't want to say anything to spoil it, but basically like they threw everything into that film. All the cliches, it was mad. But I was just glad to be out in the cinema, so it was enjoyable for that reason.
I've been told that it's not one of the best films.
It's really got no redeeming features.
Yeah.
Really at all.
That's what you're looking for in a film.
The popcorn was good.
Yeah. Sounds nice.
Maybe you could ricochet shots off the moon and expand their range and around cover and around cover.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, you're going for a red eye here.
Yeah, a sort of pinky colour. I like my elves having very sort of magical looking eyes, even if it's only a half elf, you know. Let's stick a few magical things in here, you know. Put a little glint in the eye as well. And then I will go for, where is it, line work. I need to grab the line work layer because I made that a multiply and I shouldn't have done that for this bit. I don't know, I like to sing things when I've got things wrong. I just need to sort out this little bit here. There you go, it's much more neat. And then I can stick some shading and stuff on the go.
He says, so taking a bit of inspiration of the kindred from League of Legends, where they represent death in 2 ways. One is the lamb, the calm death. The other is the wolf, the side that continues to fight on.
Interesting.
But as we all know, death is inevitable.
Oh God. Let's keep it light-hearted, guys. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you do you. As we all know, death is inevitable.
Someone mentioned, it was ages ago, I went through it and I've missed it. Yeah, Sam said, this is making me think of the Nordic myth of a father and son who put on wolf pelts, being trapped as wolves for 10 days and slowly went feral until someone removed the pelts for them.
Ooh.
Just kind of ringing a bell.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds like a kind of legend that we need to include here.
Was this mask a natural product of the Feywilds' crazy magic, or made by some legendary craftsman? So I think we were saying
it's probably grown.
Product.
Yeah, I think it's probably grown somewhere.
Inside of you there are two wolves, both of them cannot do maths.
Yes.
Very much.
Very true. Hard agree. Should I put any makeup on her face, or should I leave it like that? I'm kind of liking
I think it's looking good like that.
Right.
I think you could maybe put a little bit of
I'd do some stuff on the hair for sure.
The hair,
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought that was you something.
No. I just was like, I was just doing the skin, and I was like, do I want to do any more of the skin? But yeah, the hair needs some work.
Yeah.
Hair.
Feels.
Yes, it needs a little bit of flavour, a little bit of texture. Oh, there we go. Right. Let's go for...
York says, I don't like to fan rage about new designs for remakes of old properties, but the new Adventures of He-Man design of Skeletor is where I draw the line.
Oh, goodness.
That.
Yeah, I want to know why that's controversial.
Let's see. Only seem to be seeing both still. Skeletor. Maybe it's super new.
Yeah, maybe it's too recent for us to know. Oh, not liking that. There we go. I think I will stick to this kind of colour and go in with a comb brush because I like them. Let's go for comb.
Steve is agreeing with your art. What would I Google to find an image of that, guys?
Yeah.
I want to see this now. I love that brush that we use.
Which one?
The sort of dusty ones.
Oh yeah.
Speckle brush.
That's one of my absolute favourites, I have to say. I will always use that in all occasions if I possibly can.
The rake brush is pretty cool as well.
Yeah. Let's change the opacity there a tiny bit. Yeah, I'm liking that actually. I think I'm gonna leave that. I think adding too much to it might diminish it, so I'm gonna call that a done direwolf mask. And tomorrow I'll do a live stream on Twitch, where I will actually turn this into a genuine magic item based on your suggestions. Yeah, just
actually
post it. Actually, it might be. I'm not sure if that'll be an entertaining live stream or not. Maybe I'll do a bit more chatting during that one with you guys. But I will be, watching through this stream again and in my headphones and actually typing up this stuff so that you can actually use it in your games, because so often when we do a magic item live stream we come up with some really cool magic items and then I never actually post the thing.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. We have
a new leaf in
yes
2022.
We have spicy extras over on Twitch, so you get to see extra sort of behind the scenes content, and because it's content I will feel genuinely motivated to fill these things in so I can actually turn this into a magic item. Do we have time for one more item, do you reckon?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Shall we roll another d10 from the suggested list and come up with something new?
Okay. It is... Oh, it's 10 again, hang on. 5.
5 is seasonally transforming gear.
Oh, that's cool. So
that is cool.
Yes. It could be a cloak in winter.
Yeah, cloak in winter, a staff in spring, I think it was... Okay, let's come up with like one.
That's quite hard to.
Yeah, like what does it look like in its base form? Like when we have something to like. Something that encapsulates all of those ideas.
Like a parcel or something like that.
A parcel.
When you open it, that's
yeah.
Something.
You know what? We should turn this to the comment section.
Yeah.
And see. So right. Okay. So the theme is, guys, that we have an item that shifts into different items based on what season you are experiencing. Maybe we should say like what weather you're experiencing. So like if it's snowing, it's like the winter item or something. So you'll get more use out of it, perhaps. But what does it look like? If it's a staff in one position and it's a cloak in another, like what's its kind of base form? What can we make?
Right, be back in a second.
No worries. Take your time. I'm liking that mask though. I'm very pleased with that.
There's a few comments there if you want.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Okay. Right. So what have we got? Sounds like it fits perfectly within Eladrin for 5e with their season feature. Yeah, absolutely. It says read. Steve Harrison says Twitch sign up made me panic because every connotation of my name had already gone, so I had to use my Space Station 14 character name instead. I was missing the stream. Aw, well, don't you worry. That's okay. I'm glad. I mean, I didn't know there were so many Steve Harrisons, but I'm glad you're in good company. Yorick says you need to go and work on your redesign of She-Ra. I haven't actually watched the recent She-Ra cartoon, although I'm told that it's absolutely phenomenal, and I need to get on that. So I hope you enjoy drawing She-Ra. Reed says a long coat that could grow sleeves or get fluffier fits well as well. You know what? I think like a coat seems like a good call, because if it's gear that sort of changes with the seasons, something that you wear that maybe like if a staff like comes out of the sleeve or whatever seems like a good call. So maybe a coat is a good call. That does seem like something that you could get in general. Esteval says I think a base form is a staff, but it can unroll to magically become cloth. That can be a hat if it's sunny, and that does sound cool as well. And it's a handheld item. What do you think, Yvonne? Staff or coat?
I think, you know what? I think you did a really good job with the mirror tools, so I think a staff could be fun.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Let me see if I can get some reference images that aren't just Gandalf's staff, so I can think of some interesting designs, because I have lots of ideas in my head of staffs, but then I just want to make sure that I'm keeping it in some capacity historically accurate. Staff of the seasons, no less. What could we do for that? So I think it's got to have something at the top that tells us more about it.
I feel like a raven handle or
something. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Okay.
So if you look at hand-carved walking canes, there's some good references coming up in Google Images there for the handles.
What do you call it, sorry?
Hand-carved walking cane.
Okay. Hand-carved walking cane. Have a look. Ooh.
There's one called the dragon bird, so it's like quite cool.
Bird. Yeah, I like this. So maybe a walking stick type deal. I like that. Oh, I like the octopus, but we're not drawing an octopus.
Feywilds.
Yes. Okay. Right. Yes. Okay. Let's do this. Keep it Feywilds. Let's go.
A shirt made of lettuce, call it the crop top.
No, go.
Staff shaped like a roll of fabric. A quote is a great idea, but then so is a staff. I'm not helpful. Thanks, Steve.
I want everything. Yeah, no, it's okay.
Fits well for an artificer and gives a cool reward to any character that loves fashion and might want to be a tailor. Maybe it could generate minor magical items like cloaks of billowing or shimmering.
That sounds cool.
I think something tree, branch / leaf shaped would be themed even would visually would be good since they're signature symbols for the cycles of the season. Yeah,
yes, absolutely, absolutely, we'll do that 1000%. So
my ADHD meds have worn off.
That's okay. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I feel like having a thing here, something. I'm not quite sure whether it's a sun or a something which tells us what season it is somehow. Whether it's like a cloud or a snowflake or a sun or something. We have some tree-like elements tying all this together. We could have, and then a little hand-holdy area right here, whatever this ends up looking like. And then let's see if there's any more kind of design features I want to take from some canes or something. Who knows? I want to have a kind of something like that. Who knows? So let's see what else we've got in the way of this. Okay, so maybe instead of mirroring entirely, it goes like this, and we have these kind of tree-like roots.
Reed says you could look up spindle whorls as a reference. WHORL whorls.
Spindle?
Is that from
Spindle whirls. Oh yeah, okay. Like something for like sewing almost, or what is that for? For knitting?
That's like so if you're spinning cotton together into.
All right.
Thing, I think, is it not?
That's cool. I like the sound of that. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm having some cool ideas in my head as we speak. There. Let's say staff, main, body.
I don't know why, but I think it'd be cool to base it off the bladder cherry.
Bladder cherry. Let's have a little Google of this. Bladder cherry.
This is something I'm gonna regret looking at.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, that's fascinating.
What?
So it's like we don't call it a bladder cherry, but we eat them. You usually get them in Chinese restaurants.
Oh, they're really bitter.
Yeah, you need to be cautious about eating them though, because if you eat too many, they produce a huge amount of tannin. Oh. So they can like literally turn your stomach to leather if you eat too many. But they are good. Nice and sweet. Anywho, that is not what we came for. But I like that. I like that idea. Let's go for last used symmetry. And let's turn this sketch down a tiny bit more. There we go. So, I think oh yeah, that reminds me now that I'm thinking about it, because you guys are good at coming up with all sorts of ideas and interesting questions. There's a series that I am hoping to launch that is going to be maybe something that we do quite regularly, actually, called DM Tea Time, where I'm going to sit down with an interesting cup of tea, and one of the sections of it is going to be answering your questions, if you have any, about anything D&D related or anything Arcane Forge related. But having an almost like a D&D agony aunt, I think would be quite fun. And while I am not the like de facto ruler of all things D&D, that's Matt Massa, but I would try and answer any questions or queries that you have about D&D or your characters or what will be an interesting idea. So if you have any questions or ideas or anything like that that you'd like me to discuss in a DM's Tea Time section, I'd love to hear from you, basically. Are your players giving you too much trouble? Is your DM not allowing you to be who you want to be when you make your character? Feel like you're being railroaded? Yeah, like what do you want to talk about with D&D, and what do you want to what could I help you with, if you have anything that I can help with? That'd be a bit of fun.
Steve says, I quite like that the idea of this having a small magical barometer in the head. Ooh. If it's going to be weather based.
That's a cute idea.
During the DM's day though. Also, Physalis is what those fruits are. Maybe they call them physalis in shops and restaurants. They're called bladder cherry. Is not exactly going to be chart topping.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, who's going to want to buy a bladder cherry?
On the subject of berries, do good berries infer the existence of bad berries?
Yes.
Neutral berries, so what do they do?
I think
that could be a question for it.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I like the sound of that.
That sounds like a chill time. That sounds an amazing idea. People are liking that.
Nice.
Yeah. You should have like somewhere that people can submit anonymous.
Yes, because it does need to be anonymous, doesn't it? Yeah, because we can have. I mean, do you guys want them to be anonymous? I assume you might do, in case there's like embarrassing questions or whatever. But yeah.
Or people could maybe submit their DM confessions
about
what they've done to.
Oh yeah, the most. What's the worst way you've misconstrued someone's wish or something like that? That kind of thing would be very, very fun.
Bram suggested maybe something about always wanting to make the most original character.
Oh.
You were going to do some videos on like the sort of pitfalls of people's first character.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got loads of videos that I want to make that I think might help that kind of thing. That's like, you know, if you base your characters off of TV, you might have a bad time because so many characters are, you know, we hear so much of their thoughts that you don't get to have come across in campaigns. And you might end up with just a character who just doesn't speak very much because you're inspiring them off of a character whose internal monologue we hear in D&D. Like, how can you run that character? You know, what are the best ways to do it? That kind of thing. So there's videos like that I'm really interested in making. That's like, yeah.
Kit says to call the confessions bit the DM amnesty.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
E.S. Laval says, I'd like to talk world building. It's my favourite aspect of D&D.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good call.
Definitely showing some of the process and like how much work DMs put in behind the scenes that players just totally take for granted and walk straight over.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that'd be cute. I'd like that.
Tea and confessionary. Calling it Spill the Tea.
Spill the tea! Yes, that's in. That's in, for sure.
Yeah, we'll get something set up
somewhere
that people can put anonymous questions.
Yeah, whether it's on the Discord or something like that, I'm not sure. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Maybe if any of the mods are watching, if there's a way to like make people anonymous only in a certain board or something. I don't know if there's a way to do that, but
TV characters are often the main characters, and trying to be the main character can be dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's not how D&D is played, is it?
Yeah, but
It's
if
a
you've
group
not
activity.
played before, your instinct is to build like.
Yeah, the most fun characters in TV anyway are always the side characters. That is my true strong opinion. And you know, it's often better to have a character with a bit, at least in D&D, rather than to be a main character who has the pressure of having to go on a really severe arc and, you know, become, you know, you want to play Legolas and Gimli. You don't want to play Aragorn. That kind of thing is kind of the.
Reed's saying that there's a drug called DMT, which is making.
Oh yeah.
Think of.
That is true. I hadn't thought of that.
They're saying that they prefer the other names there.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we can have a think about it. Workshop it maybe. Steve says, my players are my blessing, to be fair. They're my best mates and brilliant players.
Aww.
COVID has caused a bit of delay in play, but they're still my favourite people.
That's so cute.
Oh,
that is absolutely adorable. Props to you. That's right. What was that? Was that coins or?
I know, that's sort of jingling my wedding ring.
Oh, cute.
I don't know why, but joke characters almost always end up being the most emotionally strong characters by the end.
They totally do.
That's true.
That's true.
Although sometimes I'm guilty of creating a joke character that only has that one joke, and after about 3 sessions I'm like, I need to kill this character.
But you're the only one who ever feels that way about your joke characters. You can't stand it once you're the centre of attention.
It's a lot to live up to. Once you've been funny one week and then you're expected to be funny the next week, you're like, oh, I can't, it's pressure.
Maybe I should do a video just for you on how to get over the stress of being good at D&D.
No, that's not what I meant. Humble brag. I'm just so good at D&D.
You are good at D&D.
This is looking good.
Thank you.
It's amazing how quick you can create really complex looking things with that tool.
Yeah,
that
I
looks
absolutely
like it
love
should
it.
have taken you like 10 times the time to do.
It would have. It absolutely would have.
Sam Regal?
Sam Riegel, yeah.
Handle's been funny, consistently amazing.
Yes.
Is that coming from?
It's someone from Critical Role, who I absolutely love. Yes, I love all of his characters so far.
Okay, Martha.
She's having a little fuss, isn't she? Okay, Matty.
She just got up, pawed at her bed, circled around a few times, and then went back to the exact same spot. So.
It was almost too comfortable. That's the issue. Dear oh dear, Matty. Right. Let's get some wood grain on the go. And get my last use symmetry so that I can make this even easier. Am I going for a light wood grain or a dark wood grain? What do you think? Dark. Let's go dark.
Steve says the chaotic evil barbarian in the group also had a crisis after being killed and resurrected. I role-played what she saw in the afterlife.
Oh God.
Osu, the mother bear spirit running away from her, via
Bum, bum, bum,
next, wait for the next comment. Have we watched Legends of Vox Machina, or are you too busy boycotting the Bezos to get on it?
I have not watched it. You know what? I wish it was because I was boycotting the Bezos, but no. I have just not watched it yet. Actually, is it good? Are you enjoying it? I know a lot of these kind of animated series are really good right now. There's a high bar that's been placed on animated series since Arcane, I think, and that's not just me, but yes.
Oh right. So Steve continues. So the role played what she saw in the afterlife via WhatsApp, and she's completely changed her alignment on her own decision to be a better person.
My goodness.
Must have been terrifying.
Yeah, what did you describe? What happened?
Styrax says, I haven't played a joke character, but ever since I started watching Oxventure, all my new character ideas were jokes. It's a slippery slope.
I see. Yeah, that's true. Because you do have to judge the tone of the campaign as well, don't you? Like, joke characters are an absolute hoot, and it's great if there's at least one, but if the tone is very deadly serious,
you need people to be in on the joke as well, because I played a character that was very reluctant, like was always saying that they wanted to go home, and then eventually sometimes other player characters would be like, well, go home then, leave.
Yeah.
Like, well, you can't say that because...
Yeah, now that's the end of the adventure. I don't know what to do.
He's not going home.
Yeah.
He doesn't want us to go home. Don't point out opportunities for him to leave and split the party.
Yeah. Yeah, goodness me.
So Reese has some ideas for us. Spring is a book to infer new species of plant and animal life. Summer, a staff to increase the walking speed. Autumn, a circlet or bracelet to control wind. Winter, a cloche.
Ah, very cool.
Steve says, I also have a tiefling bard with an alter ego named Christopher.
Christopher, yeah.
Who performed ear-splitting renditions of Druid and Red for silver at the tavern. I originally stared at that, trying to work out how to say it.
Oh,
Christopher.
My goodness. Bravo. Actually, I do want to hear what your most obnoxious joke character has ever been. I think that would be a hoot.
Who would you say?
My most obnoxious joke character.
That you've encountered.
Tough call. I'm struggling to think while drawing at the same time.
Fair enough.
But I'm sure there's bound to be some really good ones that are just off the tip of my tongue. And I realise that sounds like I'm stalling for time, trying not to say your characters, but I swear I am genuinely having difficulty.
So Styrex says what?
Nothing.
You say Bob?
I said no, definitely her once. No, I'm just messing, don't worry.
Styrex says maybe I can get them out of my system here, or share my pain.
Yeah.
A skeleton bard playing xylophone on their ribcage.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. 10 out of 10.
I think doing an accent can get obnoxious if you aren't that good at it.
Yes, definitely. You need to be quite confident in an accent.
Also, doing the voice of the opposite gender.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're going to talk like this as a woman, it's quite annoying.
Yeah, so I do have a tip on that, which is the difference between a typically male and a typically feminine voice. Although pitch comes into it, I think a lot of people think too much about it in that way. If you want to do a more convincing feminine voice, you need to think about vocal weight, as if like someone with a deep voice and masculine voice is holding something heavy in their larynx. But if you want to do a more convincing feminine voice, if you want to, I tend not to actually when I'm doing female characters. But if you wanted to, try and sigh, and like in the middle of that sigh, somewhere between the top and the bottom, it takes a long time to find it, but in the middle of that sigh somewhere is the voice that you want to be doing for a feminine character. But I would more often than not recommend just not doing that. Like, just have a character who is, use your voice, It's a bit more fun.
Bram says, mine was a boggle called Dr. Goop who kept trying to sell his body oils in bottles only for them to disappear an hour after selling.
Oh, goodness.
Steve says, I've not really had one, to be fair. It likely doesn't feel obnoxious to me because I've only ever played with good friends. I create obnoxious joke NPCs though.
Excellent.
Sarah says, a stoner / Big Lebowski necromancer. Death is like your opinion, man.
Bravo.
Yeah, breathy voice for feminine rather than squeaky, so yeah.
Definitely. Not so breathy that you go Gillian Anderson, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's something that sounds like the women you've actually met in real life.
Yes, like real women.
I've also learned the hard way not to do a raspy voice because 34 hours of that every week.
For sure, yeah, that gets real tough. Right, I'm gonna do a little.
So I feel like this item definitely grew this week.
Oh yeah, for sure. This 1000% grew. Let's do a tiny bit of. What am I looking for in a brush here? I think I'm going for. This we go. This. In the middle here. There you go, and then we can have.
As he says, then there's Commander Crane, a dwarf who has an accent that changes each time he speaks. It wasn't deliberate to start with, but now it is.
That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Definitely.
That is very, very cool. Let's go for some nice clouds here, and go for some highlights on those clouds.
Is this the base form or summer form?
Good question. We weren't quite so sure when we started earlier on. But what do you think? What should this be the base form, or like just what it is during summer or spring or what have you? What are your opinions?
I think it was quite springy personally, with a lot of sort of like fresh growth with all
Yeah,
of those,
I'll put a lot of
minerals.
green over the top of it, I think.
Yeah.
So But I thought I could like reflavor this stuff maybe for the different seasons or something. So let's go for getting some leaves. Leafy. There you go. I'll probably call it after I've done some leaves on this, because I am starting to flag a tiny bit and I want to make sure that I do a good job rather than lots of mediocre jobs. Maybe I want this going behind it actually. Yeah, you know what, I'll do a tiny bit of this here and then come back over the top with a little bit extra.
Oh, you could try this. One good way to try and talk like an old person is to try and keep the tip of your tongue away from your teeth at the front of your mouth as you speak. It gives an Ian McKellen timbre.
Oh, interesting. So what was that? Sorry?
So keep the tip of your tongue away from your teeth.
Oh!
Was it?
Did it when I was being quiet. Tip of your tongue away from your teeth. It's a little bit, yeah. I just get a little bit more posh, but I definitely get the Ian McKellen vibe from it. I like it. It definitely will require a lot more practice from me, but I might give that a go. Thank you very much for the tip of the tongue.
What's your Spice Girls?
Oh yeah, so
yeah,
so Glasgow, out of all the Scottish accents, has a very particular sound to it, and if you want to say the word Spice Girl in a Glaswegian accent, you need to do an American accent but say the word Space Ghetto, because it's Space Ghetto. Space Ghetto.
Yeah, it does work, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He says I'm naturally unbelievably posh. Anyways, I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. One of my kin. One of my people.
Yeah. I love that your accent comes from none of the 3 places you've spent any time in your life from.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, Steve says he just did it and it worked. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I might do a few versions of this stuff, like change it a bit on the live stream tomorrow over on Twitch, where I'd like get rid of some of these leaves and replace them for some frosty things, and you know, stuff like that. You know, like make them feel a little bit different from one another based on the seasons. Does that make sense? But we will definitely stack these things up on a live stream tomorrow. And that feels good to me. I like the look of that. A little season stuff. I will actually just turn that into one big group. and call it exactly that, season staff. And there you go. There you have it. 2 wonderful faith-themed magic items that you guys have created with me. And I will add the stats to those on a live stream tomorrow, I hope. And I will post them on Instagram and in the Discord. If you're new, there should be a link to the Discord in my description box. And you're welcome to join. Everybody is. I'd love to hear more from you. I'd love to see you over there. And yeah, thank you so much for your wonderful, wonderful suggestions. These were both really cool and items that I would definitely give to my players in my D&D games. Yeah, so have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Yvonne, for reading out everyone's questions and comments and queries. And I will make sure that there is a place on ideally the Discord server or somewhere else that you guys could ask your questions for the kind of Dungeon Masters tea time, not DMT time, and that might be anonymous and might not be, I don't know yet, hopefully anonymous, yeah, that, so that I can answer some of your questions in a new segment that I'll be doing on a video next month, ideally. But in the meantime, our next video is on Monday, which is going to be about tooth fairies, and my homebrew of them for use in your D&D games. That's going to be the first Monster Monday of the year, so I hope you'll join me for that. I might turn that into Premiere as well, because you guys seem to like that a lot, and I really enjoyed chatting with you while it was going on. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me this evening, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye.
Bye.